I'm here in the heart of one of the biggest cities of Southeast Asia, Bangkok, Thailand. And here we are in a place that I'm not that familiar with, but Brian here is going to tell us about what he's doing here and what exactly are we standing by.
Yeah, thanks, Rick. So this is actually our climbing facility in our gym. Here on the 5th floor, we have rock climbing where we teach people in a more safe environment. This is indoor climbing. It only goes up about 5 meters. We have very thick mats here that we're standing on, so it keeps people safe if they fall off. And it gives us an opportunity to teach people in a safe environment how to do rock climbing. It's a fun exercise for the whole body.
Now, the majority of the population in Bangkok is not Christian. You know, and you are a Christian here, but if we look at these walls and you have certain principles that you teach people on how to get up a wall, are there principles that you learn climbing a wall that can help people in life?
Yeah, actually, fortitude is actually a really solid one. So climbing up indoor specifically, you have to only use the holds that are here on the wall. And so sometimes that's really hard. You, might not figure out, you look at it and you go, well, how can I use these couple of holds and get up the wall? And so it takes determination and problem solving and stick-to-itiveness, not just giving up when something gets challenging. But then sometimes it's physically challenging. And so you have to push yourself. And it's easy to just go, well, I just can't do it. But that drive to continue and to keep trying even when you fail is something that's really a solid part of what we're trying to help people learn here.
So can I ask you what brought you here? What inspired you to leave home and come all the way to Thailand?
So to come specifically to Thailand, my wife and I, we were working in the United States for the North Pacific Union Conference of the church that we attend, and we were just trying to figure out what God wanted us to do, and we were trying to help people specifically with health. My wife and I had both, had some health issues as younger people, and through influences that we had met through this church, we started to improve our health, and so we wanted to share that with other people. And so we actually watched a documentary called I Want This City. And it was about somebody following around a pastor in Bangkok, Thailand. And one episode specifically, they did a health clinic or a free health seminar type thing in one of the big malls. And I started watching the interviews of the people afterwards and the things that they were saying they learned. I learned that you're supposed to drink water. And I said, wow, I learned that I've been breathing correctly my whole life. I just take really shallow breaths and I should be breathing deeply. So it was really basic stuff. And so we started researching. We found that diabetes at the time was the number 4 killer of Americans, and it was 25% higher rate of death here in Thailand. And there was very little understanding of how to help that naturally. And so, as well as heart disease and other lifestyle related issues. And so we wanted to come and try and help people to have understanding of how they could take control of those issues in their life without needing to use expensive medicines or going to the doctor all the time.
As we look at climbing walls, and that's a health lesson, and then you're mingling with people on a daily basis. You're also doing other things here. I think you're selling bread. Did I see that as well?
Correct, yeah.
So is that part of that whole health?
Yeah, so we're trying to encompass a holistic health principle. A lot of times where we've been, a message of health would mainly be about nutrition. And nutrition is extremely important. But exercise is also equally important. The reason why we chose rock climbing is because as we came here, we spent 2 years in language and culture study trying to understand the people that we were living among. And as we talked to them about exercise, many of them said, I don't really like to exercise. It's hot and it's boring. And so we got into rock climbing and we started inviting people to come with us. And they saw it as a fun activity. They didn't see it as exercise. They just said, well, this is really fun and exciting. And actually a couple of months ago, we were climbing in here. And so I put on my heart rate monitor, started my watch, just doing a training. And we climbed for about 2 hours, just very light. Like I would climb, I would wait 10 minutes, climb again. And at the end, I turned it off and I said, you know what? We burned 920 calories just now and 46% of it was from fat. And everyone said, no way. We were just having fun. We were just playing. And so it was something where we're kind of tricking people into exercising through a fun activity.
Yeah, and time passes a lot faster when you're having fun.
Exactly.
I have to tell you that you're on the 5th floor, so when I came up the stairs, I said, oh, now I know why they call it a climbing facility.
That's your warm-up.
That's my warm-up. I need to get into a little bit more. Can you share a story maybe about somebody who's had a positive experience by, learning climbing or improving their health or something?
Sure, I can share a couple stories if we have time. There's one specifically about a young woman named Oak, and we have this climbing facility to teach people, as I mentioned, but we also lead outdoor climbing trips. And so we get people out of this giant city. They go outside in the mountains, the real rocks, trees, and it's just a beautiful experience. And it gives us more time to connect and build relationships, connecting with people. And so we went on this one group, and this young woman named Oak, she came along, and she was having fun, and we were all climbing. We had about 12 people on that trip. And so we were doing what's called multi-pitch climbing, which means we were broken up into a few different groups. And one group would go up, we would bring the rest of the people up, and then that first group would continue on, and then the next group would go. So we weren't all really together. And so I wasn't with her in the group, but I helped her with the second part. I was doing the belay section. As we finished and we all went down, I ended up walking next to her. And I said, so how was it? And she said, well, your group said it was going to be easy, and it wasn't easy. And I said, but you did it. And she said, no, I didn't. You pulled me up. And I was a little bit surprised, and I said, no, I didn't pull you up. You climbed up. She said, no, you pulled me up. And so what I realized in talking with her a little bit more was that in her mind, she had told herself she couldn't do it. And so even though she had done it, her mind told her she didn't do it. She couldn't have done it. Somebody else helped her. And so I had a good talk with her about the importance of challenges, and not just doing things you can do, but actually you have to challenge yourself in life so that you can grow and get better at things. And so it was really an interesting view into how our brain and what we tell ourselves actually influences what we can do and how we think.
Yeah, unfortunately our time is up, because I'd love to hear more stories. It sounds like what you're doing is really touching people's lives here. When we as a church talk about Christ's method, very often we have a difficult time mingling, and reaching people where they really are. And it's great to see, something like this where you are out there meeting people and affecting their lives in a positive way. And those are some of the first steps. So anyway, thank you very much for talking with us. And for you out there, thank you for being with us, and we'll go back to Gary.